5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
And Emilio is muted.
And Emilio is muted. That's how you know it's an intoxicated podcast, everybody.
Oh, fuck.
For those who don't know, it's Father's Day, aka June 18th, 2023. And we've all decided to drink except for Bobby and Sniper. Obviously, this is the... I thought you were drinking.
No, I'm not drinking.
Oh, man. It's just me and Emilio. All right. It runs in the family. Alcoholism. Woo!
Those small backs.
It's Daddy Day. It's good
Can
for
you-
you guys to celebrate it.
We can't
Can you
hear
say
Amelia.
something,
We
Amelia?
might have to redo that beautiful intro I did. That'll be sad.
See?
No.
Oh, he
No,
left.
he's
gonna-
He's like, he shakes his head. No, I'm leaving and coming
No.
back, son.
Nah.
All
right, well,
yeah.
as we wait for him,
Wow.
I guess we have some announcements at the top of the show.
That's right. I can start it off with DLG Con. So DLG Con still happening the first weekend of November. Still going to be San Diego, and we definitely want to hear from you guys. If you guys want to come join, it would be such a blast and an awesome time. We're kind of in between a really badass, huge, ballin' big rock star villa and a beautiful, like, gated estate that is on the ocean and has a beach right there that you could walk to. And so we've got two pretty fantastic options. You have about another week to sign up and send deposits so that way you can secure your spot in the house. And if you have any questions, you can DM Days or myself, well, Amanda, same person, or you can email us, and you can find out this information by going to dlgaming.net and then joining our Discord. And within our Discord, we have a channel that is just called DLG Con Planning. We've started a thread in there as well about any updates and things going on, and so that's where all of the fun and everything that is happening is going to be happening. And in November, DLG Con is going to be happening, and it's some of the most funnest shit ever. I'm telling you, it's a blast. So you should come.
And I'm Ender's Logic.
There you go.
I'm Emperor Pilaf.
Wait, Emperor Pilaf? That's what the M stands
Wow.
for?
Yeah,
We
EM.
went up to Emperor.
God damn, that's presumptuous, dude. That's a lot.
Dude, you don't know? You never seen Dragon Ball? He's a little blue guy.
I don't know what that is.
He was born a week ago.
Oh,
He
Sniper, we're
doesn't
going to
know
have a private
anything.
conversation.
He's never seen Home Alone, dude.
We're going to have your first
my
company
goodness.
write-up, Sniper.
Okay.
Well,
Watch-
Just kidding.
Watch more shit.
Thank you for that, Amanda.
Watch
this
more.
is a. Well, I was gonna say this is a gaming podcast, guys. I think we're starting to really take a bird walk with this kind of shit. So
Wait, well,
getting
before we go, we do have a new patron we definitely want to mention. Curdle.
Curdle.
He gave us $5 a month on Patreon. Wow. Emilio, what else can people get if they do that on Patreon? Why should they support us? That's so weird.
Oof, you are putting me on the spot there, buddy. So first, the actions at the Discord. Everybody wants to be on the Discord. You don't want to be one of the scrubs that doesn't have a place to sit at the Discord. You want a green name. Everybody respects the green name at the Discord. I think that comes with like some things you can do on there as well. I don't know. Christian knows more about that, but yeah, you can do things that other people can't do. Now, what else can you do? If you subscribe for a certain amount of time, you eventually get stickers that seem to be vaporware at this point. But at a certain point, you definitely get a T-shirt. I can guarantee that. You get a T-shirt at a certain point. And that's us just losing money. We're good at talking shit. We are bad at business. Basically, you give us like $60 eventually, and we just send you a $60 shirt or something like that. It doesn't really work out financially for us, but that's how we do it. Also, what else do we do? Christian, what else? That list was like 30 things long when we made it.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
pretty long.
you're putting me on the spot. I don't really know what people get, but if they give us money, we will talk about it. We will say their name one time. And apparently, if they donate for 3 years, they get to pick a game that we have to play.
Oh,
Is anyone close to that?
There's lots of people who have reached it, but I don't know if anyone's cashed it in yet, guys.
Yeah, dude. If you guys have hit the
Cash
3-year
in.
mark, send any of us a message saying what game you want us all to play. We'll play it.
Also, Nick will suck your.
No, I won't.
Whoa. Next game is.
I might look at it, but I'm not gonna touch it.
He'll look at it.
I'll give you a rating, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, geez.
Give you
You're
a
One to
opening,
20.
rating.
1
Oh
to 20.
my gosh.
you're opening yourself up to some problems. But, Amanda
Quite a
was
few
right.
things.
It was a gaming podcast, once upon a
Yes.
time.
It is still a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
True.
How about we? Man, how about
It
we
was
start
a
with a person
very-
that has 20 things on their goddamn list, Emilio?
Well, dude, it was explained to me. I don't know if this is true, but E3 is no longer a thing. But everybody decides to announce their things around when E3 used to be. It's kind of like a eulogy for E3, I don't know why they did it that way, because I feel like you're competing against everybody else, but maybe it's like a big dick contest. They're all pulling theirs out and see who wins.
I think they want to announce it this time of year. So, well, I don't know if these games are going to be available, but like Christmas and the wintertime is when they sell most of their games. So I don't know if they're trying to get everybody hyped for their November releases.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
Sure.
Usually what ends up happening is that during this time of the year, like the summertime, everybody gets hyped up with trailers. So they usually try to advertise 3 things. The long-term projects, so like the Starfields, like from like 4 years ago, or like the new Elder Scrolls from like, 4 years ago, where they're like, we're coming out with new shit. But it's not until another 4 years. So you obviously get like 1 or 2 of those, right? Big titles, announcements that the game is being made. And then you get the things that are like in the next year and a half, year or so, that's coming out next year. And then you get the stuff that's being released this year during holiday season, where you get gameplay trailers. Usually the things that are being announced in the year and a half range, you get like a story trailer or something like that. You find out, someone has cancer, or the world's going to end if the aliens touch it. Some shit like that. But right now, because E3, from my understanding, the reason why they stopped doing E3 is that companies were tired of spending money just to be able to announce shit when they realized they can just announce it on their own. You were playing for like a key spot on a presentation floor, and COVID really put the nail in the coffin for that.
Yeah, I feel like it was already in decline right before COVID, and then COVID, yeah, exactly, was a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
As far as I've paid attention, and don't quote me on this, I have been very busy lately. I feel like Xbox took the show for PC gamers out of everything that I saw. I'm just going to list off all the day one releases on Game Pass that you're paying $14.99 a month for. All right, so Fable reboot, that trailer I thought it was so good. It was funny, and it looked super cool. No gameplay footage, but that was one of the ones where even the cinematic, you could see what direction they're going with. So I was very cool with that. Forza Motorsport, Game Pass. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Game Pass. Jusant, Bobby, I think you talked about that, something about desert or sand, right? Jusant means sand? Is that right?
Which one?
Jusant?
Jusant?
No.
All right, anyway, that's coming out.
Are you talking about in French? No, sable is sand in French, and that was a completely different game.
Oh, I was off. Persona 3, I know a lot of people like that series. That's game one, day one Game Pass. City Skylines 2, that's day one Game Pass. And then what happened to...
We have one more title, and it's Senua Saga, aka Hellblade 2. For those who don't know, it's a game that's set in the essentially Viking Age of Finland. It's about a woman named Senua, and it is a game that discusses mental health as well as drug use in that time. It deals with the main character who is constantly hearing voices in her head, and she deals with the mythological as well as much as the actual that's happening in her life. They released a kind of story trailer. It's very almost horror-esque game. The game is sort of on rails, but it's from what we've seen, but we don't have a direct gameplay trailer. We've seen a lot of story stuff. We've seen a lot of stuff regarding the atmosphere. One thing that I love about this game and the previous one itself and the music from the previous one that you can see some like live performances and shit looks insane is that for some people, this game makes them uncomfortable. There's a lot of dark, brooding topics that exist in this world, and this game talks about them, and this game spearheads them and the conversation on them pretty quickly. So imagine like a very, very deep set personal trauma world that's set in like mythological Viking Finland, as well as like this bridge between what's actually happening and like the mythological during that time.
Yeah, you're not even sure. She's not sure what's real and what's not. You're not sure as a player. Even at the end, it's still, you're not sure. It's very, very ambiguous as far as like what's real and what's not. And I don't.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
He's gone.
He's back.
He's back.
And he's muted. So, because Emilio's muted, as like he said, you don't even know as a player if what you're seeing is real, and let alone the character doesn't know if what they're seeing is real. I think this is a pickup. If you don't have Game Pass, and if you have Game Pass, this is a game that's going to last you a while. The first one was pretty fucking long, if I remember correctly. Emilio, are you back?
No.
Nope.
no.
He's not back. It seems like Emilio is lost audio. We are trying new audio techniques on the podcast. Remember, everything is live. Hopefully, this part gets edited out.
We don't edit the shows.
We don't edit the show. We do it all
you
live.
get it raw.
You get it,
True.
100%. But Bobby, one thing that I saw on a banner of a website was Sea of Thieves: The Legend of Monkey Island, and I know that The Legend of Monkey Island is a point-and-click adventure game from like the early '90s. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people messaged me about this, and of course I saw it. And yeah, this is going to be a big deal, at least for me. So it's got what was Ron Gilbert's company, the LucasArts branch that did those games. Legend of Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, all those ones.
Oh man, what is the name? Grumpy Gamer?
No. I'm looking it up right now, but yeah, I loved all those point-and-click adventure games from back in the 90s, and Sea of Thieves loves to do these tie-ins. Now, before I even saw this announcement, the first thing I saw was an article talking about how Ron Gilbert said he was not contacted or invited to be a part of this in any way. And even before I read the article, I think it was on Ars Technica, I immediately thought, like, that's kind of a weird response, because I'm sure you don't own the rights to that game, so it's not really up to you. I mean, it is kind of your creative child, but still, I don't know if you could really expect that. And then the article goes on to say that actually they did contact him about it, but they were already in the middle of developing it. They did invite him to be part of it, but he never got back to them. So, yeah, and from what I can tell, the actual content in the game is just going to be two or three Tall Tales. Tall Tales are the single-player content in Sea of Thieves. They are definitely not the highlight of the game, but you can unlock really cool cosmetics through doing them, and it's good to do them every now and then. It's like a 2-hour mission. It shakes up the gameplay a little bit. It's nice. Or, if you're playing with someone who's not really into gaming, or you just kind of want to relax and do something chill, they can be a lot of fun. And the first couple of Tall Tales, I've talked about this before, they do a fantastic job of capturing the Disneyland rides. I even saw somebody posting, I think it was on Reddit, they were asking, what's up with these Tall Tales? Like, I feel like they're purposely low quality, like in some parts, and just kind of weird. And someone had to explain to them, this is based off the Disneyland ride. That's why the audio sounds a little strange, and why characters seem to be doing the same thing over and over again. And it's built like an amusement park ride. And it's so strange, because walking in those environments, I feel like I'm walking on the set of Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. It's one of my favorite rides there. I've been on it so many times. It's got like all the things, the dog with the key and everything. So I think they're going to do a great job with The Legend of Monkey Island. It's got the main character of that game has the stupidest name. It is Guybrush Threepwood. That's what it is.
Yep.
And I think the story is that he is now like in charge of Monkey Island or something, and you take some quests from him. I don't know. We'll see what they do with it. Even though I love Monkey Island, they were difficult games when it came to the point and click adventures. I found them more difficult than a lot of the other games by, was it LucasArts? I think it was just LucasArts that was making these games. Tim Schafer, Ron Gilbert, all those people. And then later Telltale Games made like the remakes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Even though it is just Tall Tale stuff, like I think this is going to be fun. And I'm glad they're doing the tie-in. Like that's just, it's a good fit.
So the audio from the in-game is taken from the rides at Disneyland.
It's not taken from the rides. They recreated it, but they made it sound just like it. Because I talked about this months ago when I got really into Sea of Thieves. The rides at Disneyland have a specific audio. Those rides were created. When was Disneyland created? In the 60s,
1966, I think, or 1968.
Yeah,
like
50s, but yeah.
50s or 60s. And yeah, and they have like kind of that old school tinny, and it sounds like it's coming through a
mono
can.
stereo, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a specific sound to it, and they keep that going, even though they have the audio equipment to make it sound different. They still kind of have that in a lot of these old rides, just because like people have been going to Disneyland for all their lives and they're used to it being a certain way, and they redid it in Pirates of the Sea of Thieves, but they made it sound just like it. So they rode the line.
If I can have one example of that in another video game, is that, do you guys remember BioShock? Obviously, everyone here's played BioShock. Pretty much every human being. Mm-hmm. Sniper's shaking his head, and
Christian,
man, we're gonna.
Man, dude,
I tried.
Hasn't seen Home Alone.
We're gonna
hasn't
get you
played
beat up by
BioShock.
gangs when you visit fucking San Diego.
Christian,
Like,
really quick. Do you know what the punchline is in that game? The big reveal.
No, not a clue.
And you said you tried playing it, but it was just too antiquated, or what?
I tried playing the, I guess, latest BioShock, the one where they go to the sky.
that one.
Oh,
that one's
Infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I made it a bit of the way through, but no, I don't know the punchline. I don't know anything. Don't spoil it for me. Spoilers,
No,
guys.
I'm not.
No. I think it's like a 6-hour, 7-hour game for BioShock 1. Like you can just go through and not do any of the extra shit and discover the story. It's amazing. It's one of the best like stories of all time.
Best twist ending in any game.
And just the area design and everything. It's also discusses a lot about politics and stuff. But for those wondering what Bobby's talking about the audio, if anyone remembers the Circus of Value fucking machine, it's like, welcome to the Circus of Value. But like the audio is purposely shitty, like it's coming from
It's tinny.
It's really caca.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what he's talking about. That's going to be inside Sea of Thieves. So that is
that
one.
line, actually, a little bit of trivia. That line is actually spoken by Ken Levine, the game director for BioShock.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
That
wow.
was a fun
We're
fact.
learning. We're learning today.
For those who don't know, if you try to buy something and you leave the shop, you get a unique voice line. He goes, "Come back when you got some money, buddy." And then they make fun of you for being poor, which is a big thing about the whole game. So if you've never played BioShock and you're above the age of like 12, go play it.
Yeah. Are we at the
Nice.
point where we're saying, does BioShock hold up, though?
Dude, I
don't think it
BioShock's-
does. I honestly, it's a great game, but like I think gaming has just changed so much since then. I think it's just antiquated. I don't
Could
know,
be.
man.
I don't.
It could,
I
it
don't
could
know
be.
how it
Do you think
controls.
BioShock is ready for a remake, like Dead Space?
Well, they've
'Cause
been talking
it came
about
out
making
before Dead
BioShock
Space.
4. And the things they were saying about BioShock 4 sounded awful, but I don't know.
It was supposed to be in space, right?
I can't remember, but I just remember it was going to be like open world. It sounded like there was some pay to win and some really gross stuff that just
Guys,
it didn't sound good.
I'm looking at BioShock, and it's listed on Steam as BioShock Remastered. Is that the one I want?
Well, they remastered.
They touched up the graphics
original.
and the controls. But yeah, that's the one you want.
Okay, I can be your time traveler, guys. No technology required. I'll just play the game right now, and I'll tell you if it holds up.
Christian, if you want to do a new segment called Christian Tries Old, we'll definitely do it. We'll give you the $10 that BioShock fucking costs, and you can play the game.
Dude,
and
Give
we'll
you
hear
some
talk about it.
marbles, some jacks.
We'll give you some
a
loonies
wheel
and
and a
toonies
stick.
and some Tim Hortons and a hockey puck, and you can go ahead and review the game for us.
all
Make
right.
some Caesars. Yeah.
It's $22 Canadian. I'm probably gonna have to wait. For
Is
this
it
one, so-
$22? I
You
think I
can
have
play
an
it off
extra
of one
copy.
of our accounts.
I
We all
think
have
I
it on
have an
our
extra
accounts.
copy.
It was free on Epic not too long ago too. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, actually, a long time ago it was free on Epic, but you can play it off of any of our accounts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Alrighty, where are we at?
So that
Are
was
we-
Sea of Thieves, Legend of Monkey Island. Days, I haven't heard your voice. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Well, that's all right. Well, instead of first, I've got a final. So this is a little reminder that the finals has another beta going on right now. As you're listening live, or even when you hear the episode on Tuesday, you'll have a day left. They've apparently made some updates and added some things, and everybody can, most people can play in the closed beta, especially if you played again. Like if you played in the first closed beta, sorry, if you played the very first one, then you automatically are in the second closed beta. So if you're like, I'm not sure, but you played the first, you're in. So if you didn't get to play last time though, it started on the 14th. Steam invites went out daily if you signed up. And if you didn't sign up, you can go to their Discord, or you can just like Google the finals and sign up on they have like a Steam powered website. And I think it's even on their Steam page. And so that's linked in the show notes that you can sign up through that. And so they are trying to polish and balance and improve the game. And so I put this on my radar because I am hoping that I can play quite a bit of the finals before I leave. But they've been pretty active on their Discord and also working with everybody and fixing a lot of things. They've made a lot of like quality of life updates, and especially a lot of UI fixes is what it seems. So that's cool. They seem to be kind of tweaking and just really trying to balance and make the game much more playable and enjoyable. And I really like this game because it's like, you know, it has a lot of elements of like Call of Duty and a great first-person shooter, but the whole mechanic of being able to destroy the landscape that you're standing on or destroy things to get up to a different place is just like an amazing addition. I think that makes the game like a lot of fun. I've had a blast playing it before, and so I'd like to play it again. But once again, that's the finals, and you have until June 21st to try the closed second beta.
Hey,
So
Dave,
go ahead.
you said
Go
it
ahead,
started
Emilio.
the 16th. When does it end? I missed it.
It ends on the 21st, so on
Okay.
Wednesday.
I would love to. I'm going to sign up right now, and maybe we can play after the podcast.
That would be cool.
I do have one professional question for you, Amanda. So I have a couple friends groups, and we all play video games, and I talk to them all the time. And I've talked to them about the finals. No one is like, it is so hard for a new IP to get seen or get noticed. Like Emilio's list for highlights is like 18 things, and like 9 of them are fucking new IPs, and they all look garbo. They all look so generic.
man.
They all look like
What are you
really
talking
generic.
Your selections are shit, Emilio. That's
well,
what he's saying.
Yeah. Your gaming opinion's awful, man.
All right.
I'm just kidding. But no, and with the reality of the situation, right, is how does a new IP like the finals get out and actually get sold? It is so hard right now to get a new IP to get launched because even old IPs are doing terrible. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that there's kind of way too many IPs flooding the market in a way, and that is definitely causing people like a selection paralysis of sorts.
Fuck yeah,
And so
there
I
is.
definitely think that it would be pretty tough to compete and release things, especially if you already don't have a name established. But I think that a way that they can kind of do that is the way that, you know, they're building up with a community. If you get a community that's going to follow the game and work with them and listen to the community, then like I really think that that's a good way to kind of amplify and to do it, unless you just want to like throw stupid ass loads of money into advertising like one of the games that we will be talking about again. I'm sure I don't even need to state it. It's on everybody's highlights, and it's what
It's the
everybody's been
one with
playing.
the horns.
It's the oh my God. Spoilers. No, I'm just kidding. It's the one that turned New York into a living hell.
It's the one that had an
advertised
arson
going
attack on
out.
Canada.
Yeah, and so, but I mean, you could either, I feel like you could either be spending a shitload of money on advertising and reach out to people that way, or you build it with the community, and then the rest will kind of do itself, and not exactly, but it will for the most part, people get talking and kind of join in on each other. Like just right now, we were talking about the finals, and now Emilio's down, so it's like things like that, and I think that that's kind of their own angle, but there is an overwhelming amount of options, especially when you tie in all of the indie games that we could be playing as well,
And
Yeah, I just feel like when it comes to like certain games, like for example Paragon, right? Do you remember Paragon from 2016?
yeah, the one they got shot. Yeah, they closed the shop.
Like, dude, like that game seems so cool. It was a MOBA, third person, new age design, a mixture of like magic and sci-fi, and then it fucking just landed on its face as soon as it launches. And it sucks because there's so many new game types and there's so many new genres and there's so many like blends and innovations, and sometimes they just fucking dookie their like pants. Like it is like it's sad to see because you know that these are people's jobs, you know that these are people's like passion projects. It's like what do people do to really get ahead of the curve? Like it sucks because like I think the finals is a good IP. I think the finals is a good game from what I've seen because I've watched multiple videos on it. I've watched competitive, like semi-competitive play of it. I haven't played it myself because I just don't have the time, to be honest. But
You didn't get let in. Come on, be honest.
no, they don't let anybody above 260. They don't let in. They're just like, you're too fat. Get out.
I want to put it on the record that I disagree with both of these opinions. There's a shit ton of new IPs that are easily being seen, and old IPs are doing bad.
I mean,
it really depends on the product and the marketing behind it, and you always have to have a community push and a marketing push. You can't just have one or the other.
You got the inside scoop, Christian. But I do think that we are at a point that so many games are coming out that even a good game is not a success. There's no guarantee of success. Like you said,
Well, I think we're
you have to
just
have a marketing
feeling that-
push.
Yeah,
And a
but
lot
I
of
think
game
we're feeling
devs
that
don't have that.
specific. Oh, sorry.
A lot of game developers don't. They're not also great marketers, and they're.
Well, they usually pay people to do that part for them.
Some might not know that they need to. Even the very small ones, the 3-man teams, the 1-man team. Yeah, I think some get left. There's just so much, dude. I mean, I was listening to a podcast and someone was like, okay, like 100 new games come out every week, including, indie titles and stuff. There's like 5 or 7 great ones out of those 100. And we don't talk about those ones every time. We don't nail it. And all the other outlets, they don't nail it. It's interesting. But let's not get too deep on an episode where we have 1,000 things to talk about. Nick, thank you very much.
Hey man, I'm just trying to have some introspective
are.
conversation for once.
You are, but let's do it when
I think it
there's
was
two of
good
us.
conversation. I think it was good, but yeah. But I disagree.
Goddamn, fuck you.
And I wanted to add
do
one
think-
more to that Game Pass list. The one that I can't. I'm gonna say it. I guess Starfield is day one Game Pass. It's crazy. I mean,
Is
I looked
it?
it up twice to make sure. I didn't want to say it.
You're telling me a $70 AAA game
Yeah.
from a studio that is known for making millions of dollars is a day one Game Pass game?
Day one Game Pass game, right?
How
Can
much do
we
you think they're
confirm?
making
'Cause I
on?
looked
How
it
much
up
do you think they're
twice.
making on each download?
Yeah.
They're owned by Xbox.
12
Game
12
Studios.
schmeckles? Oh, that's right. Oh, it's all going to Xbox.
Yep.
Fuck.
So there used
That's
to be.
amazing. When,
Just follow
when
the
did they
money,
decide
man.
this?
They did.
Bobby knows.
They announced that during the Xbox show. That's what I say. They stole. They won out of all the different things. I think this hasn't been said for a long time. There used to be a phrase called the killer app. That you had the one app that brings all the boys to the yard, and like that hasn't been a thing for a really long time, except for like Sony. I guess Sony kind of ran away with that train, but I mean, that's crazy, dude. Like Starfield day one on Game Pass.
You want to know the one thing that got me interested in Starfield from watching the trailer?
The one thing, dude, just one.
Just,
Are you
I
crazy?
mean, it's Bethesda, and they're using the same. They're using the new engine that's going to be used for the new Elder Scrolls in the game. So like, this is a smidge like of like a little dab of acid of what's coming for the new Elder Scrolls. Like this is the new engine that they're using.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They said that of all the games they've ever made, Fallout, Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls series, much more. This is a game that has the most amount of weapons and fighting styles out of all of them.
Yeah. I'm still gonna get a big stick and hit people with it.
The big bonk,
In
you know what I'm saying?
space. In
He's
space.
like, I have this arsenal of weapons that I could choose from. Give me the stick, the fire.
Give me
Take the
the
stick.
space wood.
I will
Make it
refeed
big.
Yeah.
Lasers are cool, but have you ever hit
everyone.
anybody with a stick?
With the most technologically advanced rays, we're on par with the Borg. Bunk.
Okay, I'm gonna knock a few of them off of my list because I have such a long list right now. This is just an announcement: Frostpunk 2 in 2024. I put that on just for Christian. Christian, you
Hell
excited?
yeah.
Frostpunk 2.
Yeah.
That's a pre-purchase. They have my money the second they made it.
Wang.
Didn't you
Emmy's
say,
sort
like-
of announcement.
Is that your favorite game of all time?
It's my favorite city builder of all time because it's a story city builder, but the mechanics
Right.
were so fun. And, the twist on Frostpunk, I'm sure everyone's played it by now, but you have to keep your people warm, basically, spoiler alert. And you're managing this weather system that goes throughout the level. And at the end of the level, it gets really intense and it feels like a final boss moment. And city builders, I can't think of a city builder that's done that so well. Others have tried to make boss mechanics, but it just, because it tied into this story, and then people are dying. It's like, do you want to amputate all your orphans? It's like, it's
Jesus.
dark. It's dark
Yeah.
and it's awesome, and you explore the map. There's so many modes. I can't wait for Frostpunk 2. It's going to be sick.
One
It's
thing
his
that
favorite city builder, and all he plays is city builder. So yeah, it's his favorite game of all time.
one thing that I've heard from a review about it that makes me give the game so much respect is the fact that like a lot of people say that it's perfected the option of choice and the consequences of that when it comes to city builders. Do you get short range satisfaction now and negatives later, or do you get negatives now and long term benefactors? But it's the gradient is all over when it comes to choices, and then some of them are morally extremely terrible. And you're like, oh, this is great. And then sometimes they're morally like ambiguous, and you're like, it's all right, but kind of makes everybody warm. If you've never played Frostpunk, it's probably in the top 3 city builders of all time.
It's it must be what it's like to be a mayor of a really shitty city, like handed the shit.
Like
The mayor
Detroit.
of Oakland. Is that what you're saying?
Fuck outta here.
Amanda's shaking her head. Why you gonna mention Detroit, man?
Yeah, don't you shit on my city like that.
Okay, I'm gonna do this as quickly as possible. Warhaven is kind of like a War of the Roses or like a chivalry, but it does seem a little more like you have a character base or class base. Much more arcadey, but from what I could tell, the classes definitely have like an ability shooter, but melee. That's what it seems like to me. Also seems like it might be free to play, so that's kind of but yeah, that's cool. Oh, we can play it free for demo for Next Fest, which starts tomorrow, I think. We can play that for free, so I'm gonna try to check that out. What else do I have? I was trying not to just put things that are pretty and shiny, just new ideas, and one of them was Diesel Legacy: The Brazen Age. So it looks like a Final Fight or a like a 2D side scroller, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. But it's 2v2. It's a 2D fighter where you fight against 2 other people. You're not going against waves of minions. It's a fighting game, but it very much in the style of a 2D brawler, single player or multiplayer game, if you know what I'm talking about, like a Double Dragon, if you will. So I thought that was cool. I mean, obviously I prefer my Street Fighter, but at least they're trying something new. I've never seen that before, so kudos to them for that. Also, PAX Day, I think we're going to be talking about this a lot coming up. This is a game. It's a massively multiplayer online game that is trying. It sounds like they're trying to do a lot of things that, EVE Online did, but like in a medieval fantasy setting. So the economy is completely controlled by the players. Every single thing that's crafted or made is made from players. All the weapons, all items, everything's made from the players. So even at level 1, you can start going, you can grab a pickaxe and get to work and like start making your own riches. It kind of reminded me way back when I was playing EverQuest 2. The other big game was, Ultima Online. And I saw a group of people and they were all mining gold and it looked so boring. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And like, we're mining gold for our guild. And I was like, this is what you do all day? Yeah. And sometimes we get raided and killed. And so I have a little bit of fear of that happening in a game like this. You know, you're going to have people just doing labor in a game that doesn't, it doesn't make anything. But I don't know. Maybe you can mine enough gold to become the king. I don't know. But
I'm pretty excited, dude.
Have you heard of this before?
Yeah, I've heard of PAX Day before. It's funny, the Ultima Online, the game designer was Raph Koster, and he went on to make Star Wars Galaxies. So a lot of that open world ideas kind of are a through line to those two games. And the people who are making this, as you know, or maybe you said and I missed it, also do make Eve. So a lot of those ideas are a throw line from Eve and hopefully distilled into something more fun. So I'm super excited. I think this is like exactly up my alley, this open world. And I feel like Amanda's going to jump in and say, mining gold is not fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, and also too, like I'm kind of excited for this too. This looks awesome. Like I wonder if it's gonna kind of play out to be kind of like a fantasy Second Life in a way. Like especially if you can end up making. Yeah, and I'm definitely a sucker for the MMO experience and also too a game where the community really makes it. I think that's where crafting survivals can be incredible, is when you get a great community. Not that this is a crafting survival, but like as an MMO where you're creating everything. Yeah, and like where the community is really building the game with you. I think that is going to create some amazing little niche and like goofy ass moments that will just make a game like this incredibly unique and fun.
And the graphics are gorgeous.
Dude, it looks it looks great. I think it's worth noting that New World had this idea too in its alpha, this like open
market.
It used to be like a crafting survival, player-driven economy. They had all these ideas and then they distilled it to be a bit more casual. So there must have been a reason why they did that, and they created a niche for PAX Day. And I can't wait to see what it's going to be. Emilio just fucked off, by the way, so I don't know where he went. But.
Emilio also DC'd in the middle of that statement from Sniper, and now his mic doesn't work again. Yeah, we don't know what's going on with him. We may need to sacrifice him so that his tech works. I don't know.
Yeah.
What he does have on it, what he also has on his list that he was trying to rapid fire, is Star Wars Outlaws. We finally saw some gameplay. Bobby, you are our residential Star Wars old man, and then Christian is our residential Star Wars young man. I think there's literally like 4 years between you two. I just say that because Bobby's wiser, in my opinion. I don't know why. Because he doesn't talk a lot.
I think it's a little more than 4 years.
He is wiser though. I will give him that. But he does also have less gray hair than me. So who is wiser in reality?
Oh, are we talking about the beard? Because I think I got you beat there, dude. I'm going full on Santa Claus in the beard.
Hell yeah. Bobby Santa Claus.
Bobby
I want a dragon. It's not going to happen, son.
Getting white. Star Wars Outlaws. They had the, last Monday, it was like a 12-minute gameplay trailer, and they talked about the different things you can do in the world. And it seemed like a lot of people, and kind of the trailer too, were focused on the lore, which I get is really big in Star Wars. But I was kind of looking for something else. So to me, the gameplay trailer didn't really excite me that much. It looks like you're playing a female Han Solo. It's an open world where you take on different missions. There's a lot of risk versus reward, and there's a lot of options on how you want to play the game, which is a big thing these days. Like, do you want to play stealth? Do you want to go guns out? Or how do you want to handle each encounter or situation? So I don't know. I remain hopeful. I didn't really see much in the way of like a progression or leveling system, but maybe I didn't watch closely enough. I don't know. What were your reactions? Anyone else that watched it?
I think an open world game set in the Star Wars universe, especially between movie 5 and 6, is a good idea. The only thing that I wish that they would do that would probably even sell even more copies and more pre-orders would be to make the game completely customizable in the sense of your character and everything. I don't have a problem with playing as a female character. I love Horizon Zero Dawn and a bunch of other shit. But I feel like with Knights of the Old Republic, for example, you have a game that is arguably one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and you can completely customize it. Star Wars and Lucasfilm and the IP as a whole has the capability to do that, and I'm hopeful for the game. I'm probably going to pick it up and play it. I don't know. I think they could do more. You have so much money, especially with the Star Wars IP. I think you can do more.
Well, we don't know exactly what we're getting yet. I mean, we'll see. It's not going to be a multiplayer game, which is a little disappointing for me. But you know what? Neither was KOTOR or Knights of the Old Republic 2, and those games were amazing. So I remain hopeful.
And with the female protagonist, I mean, like, maybe they're trying to tell a story and that's who they want to tell it through, you know? Like, I get that they have this open world, but if I think of, like, Assassin's Creed or some other open world-ish type games, they made a design decision to tell a story through a certain main character. So I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, if that's their choice, then...
I mean, I don't have a problem with playing that character. I mean, I don't even have a problem. What it is like, I wish that it would be a customizable character, right?
Do they do that anymore? Are we getting away from that? Because I'm thinking, and it feels like a lot of recent games, they pick a character, and this is partially maybe because the performance is more of a big deal. They're getting like legitimate actors and voice actors to play these characters. They're even modeling the characters off of what the actor looks like in real life. It seems like they're casting these games more rather than giving you this blank slate player character for you to customize or project yourself onto. Like, we never see the silent protagonist anymore, but I feel like we're also seeing less of the blank slate player character.
Do you think that this is in contrast to Jedi Survivor? Instead of a lightsaber wielding protagonist, we have one that is a gunslinger and a pilot and a fast talking outlaw. Do you think
we see that stereotype a lot, or that character a lot in Star Wars. It's Han Solo, right? I mean, this is the female Han Solo. We see that come up a lot. So, I think it fits the game design better because you're going out on missions, you're taking jobs. So, it makes sense that you'd be a smuggler. And I do like this time period of between the Empire and Return of the Jedi. I like, maybe it's because of Shadows of the Empire, but I like that kind of area to tell a story in. But I don't know. Now that I'm older and like I reflect on these movies, I feel like maybe that's not like the best spot. It is because like it resets everything. Empire Strikes Back. The Empire is like back in control and everything's looking real bad for the I almost said the Republic for the rebels.
The Republic.
But it makes them the underdogs again. So you can go into Return of the Jedi and you can basically redo the original Star Wars, which now that I look back on everything, I'm like, God, Star Wars was really creatively bankrupt after the second movie. But
do you think that this era of Star Wars is overplayed? Do you think that they should move into a future or past of that era?
No. I mean, I still like this. I think the best spot, and George Lucas did this on purpose, but between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, they kind of skip over the entire Clone Wars, and they did that on purpose because they can fill that with TV shows, miniseries, video games, whatever, and that's a pretty smart move. But that's also I really kind of like that gap to put stories in as well.
Dude, I love the Mandalorian episode with the Separatist in it. Like, it's really interesting that there's this ideology of people who are like, we were right. Like, the Republic was going to take over, and we needed to leave before they were going to become this, like, empire ruling our lives. And I don't know. I think that's a good retrospective to an interesting.
Yeah, because when you look back,
retrospective
it's like where the Separatists are like put as the bad guys in those movies, but honestly, like the good guys become the bad guys in those movies.
You know what thing I really liked, right? I'm a deep lore guy. I like seeing TIE bombers and all this other shit. But what I did like was seeing the Empire Reclamation program when it came to characters, where they're like when they were like Empire officers, and that was in the Andor. I think in this generation of entertainment, right? You know, they're coming out with things for kids. Like literally, one of Vivian's, my 2-year-old's favorite shows is Star Wars Jedi, which is about these little kids that are Jedis or Padawans, and they're training under Yoda, and she loves it. It's cute, it's fun, whatever, blah blah blah. But I think for the more adult, like older range, I think we need more serious shows like Andor. Because when you watch the first episode of Andor, like no spoiler at all, you're like, holy shit, this is a different caliber of show. They are not afraid to show somebody get their fucking brain blown off with a blaster.
Spoiler! No,
you don't know who.
Yeah.
that's right.
But what I'm saying, I think we need to even start seeing that in video games. Star Wars is such an old IP. It is easy to do wrong. It's easy to make things that are Star Wars that are forgettable. Like even Mandalorian right now is becoming predictable. But we'll see with this new game. I have high hopes for this new game. Like I said, I'm probably going to pick it up. It looks fun from the gameplay. I always like discovering new blasters and new, explosives and things like that in video games. So I'm going to pick it up.
I like the
Same.
look of it. I don't. It doesn't look terrible. And I do like a lot of protagonists in a row have all had like a little computer buddy that's on their shoulder. For some reason, I was sold on the little mammal, dude. Like it's cool.
It was so cute, dude. It was so
I like
awesome.
it.
And then he sabotages like the fucking little thing and the door. It's so good. I mean, what I think another thing is that I think a really good thing that Star Wars could exploit, or not exploit, but use in the future is maybe even a co-op game. Because there's so many, like when you watch the Star Wars movie, everybody kind of has their main buddy or their main character that every character has, right? Han Solo has Chewbacca, Rey has Finn, and so on and so on. I think that a Star Wars
has Finn.
Yeah, Poe has Finn actually. Now that you
Those
say
guys
it.
are super buddies.
But what I'm saying is, like, imagine a Star Wars game that's open. It's open world. You have an AI companion that's a main character in the sense. And it's set in the Star Wars world. What was the game that was like you're in prison in like 1950s Louisiana and you have to escape? It's made by that guy. What is it called?
Yeah. Get Out.
Get
no.
Get in.
A Way Out.
Way Out. Yeah, A Way Out.
Me and you played it. It's the only game we've played together in the last decade.
Yeah.
What's it called?
But
A Way Out,
anyways,
right?
it's a way out. It's a narrative story driven. It's a narrative story driven game that has a lot of mechanics that are discovered through the in-game like gameplay and storytelling. If you had that with Star Wars, I think you would kill it. I think if you had a Star Wars drama game where you had the two-player the ability to play two-player, but probably the expectation to play two-player, you would make millions of dollars.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But they're too busy working on, the makers of XCOM do listen to this podcast, and they heard Bobby's idea for the Bad Batch, and they've been working on that ever since they heard it 2 or 3 years ago. And I can't wait to see the reveal. I can't wait to see what they reveal. So, yeah.
Okay, back to my stuff because it's super important.
We just got one of your things done. But keep on. You got more.
Ferocious, Bobby, I put this on here just for you. It's the Lost World with machine guns. So you land on Skull Island. It's not Skull Island, but that's pretty much what it is. You fight dinosaurs with machine guns. We've seen things kind of like this before, but this
So
one actually
Jurassic
doesn't
Park
look too-
3.
What?
So like Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one doesn't look bad, actually, dude. It looks like they actually care. It doesn't look like they're going to take our $20 and run with it like Stomping Land did. So anyway, I put it on there for you, and maybe you'll take a look at it. Maybe not. Hidden Door. Oh, this was cool. This was so cool. So this has a AI built into the system. You and a group of friends get together and you take cards and you put the cards in the game. The cards could be an evil dragon. Another one could be a castle. And another one could be enchanted forest. And then the AI will take those cards and make a brand new story with those things in it that's never been written before. And you will play through it with kind of like an improv. So you go, you're like, what do you want to do here? And then you type jump, and then it'll give you like 4 things you could do: jump over the chasm, jump on the monster's back. It's all procedurally generated, and you're taking part in it. Now it's not just fantasy. It looks like it's going to be taking. It's trying to be able to do any kind of story. So they have sci-fi ones, they have all kinds of different ones, and they said that they're working with, who knows, because it sounds like a small developer, but it seems like they said they're working with like TV shows and directors right now that are putting out content, and then they're like, that universe would be so easily, like other IPs, like media IPs, would be able to plug in. So you could, like, I'm not saying Expanse, but like there could be an Expanse one you just plug in and you play through an Expanse, like story, but it's original just to you and your friends. So it's like a D&D, and AI is the DM in a way. It didn't seem overly complex because they're using a card system where you just drag and drop and it just kind of like fills in. But even if this doesn't work out, at least people are looking at this and not how can we make money with AI, but how can we have fun with AI? So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Hidden Door is the game.
Nice.
And Vampire Survival 1.5. This kind of like jumped out at me because they came out with the DLC and I bought it just because I feel like I owe them money for making a new genre. I played it for a couple minutes and I was like, I don't get it. Whatever. I don't care. Take my money. And then I saw the 1.5 and I was like, whoa, this looks like a whole new game. Like they really went for it. I don't know if it's a free. Usually when you do a 1.5, that's a free LC. They have a bunch of new characters. They have this like randomization wheel where it kind of like spins and it brings together a bunch of, like, you'll have these mobs with these abilities and this kind of like treasure if you beat them. It's like this random wheel that has 3 segments moving. And then I saw some of the action. I was like, I definitely haven't seen anything like that in the original Vampire Survival. So I'm so glad that like the guy who made the original game is pushing the envelope and not just resting on his laurels. Even if this game falls flat, at least he's fucking taking risks. Like, who cares? The game's $3, like, go for it. Yeah. You already made your money. Somebody already gave you Game of the Year. Like, get crazy, dude. Like, who cares? Don't be Call of Duty that doesn't want to deviate so much that, they can't take risks.
Well, I think Activision has a lot more to lose than this guy.
It's true,
Just
dude.
the
It's
one
true,
guy.
dude. But like,
They have investors.
no, I get it. But yeah, I mean, as long as you're small, be mobile, pivot, do new things, and continue to do new things. It's awesome. And that's it for me.
Absolutely.
That was my 72 games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got quite a range going on of different games that are involved. You sit there and you gotta like these other ones that you're I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm trying to fucking segue. It's not working. I'm gonna switch it over to Space Rain. That's what I put on the radar. And this game is cool. It's an indie space sim and strategy game where you have ship and fleet combat mixed with management of your space corporation. Definitely gives me some Expanse vibes. It came out on June 12th, 2023. So very recently just came out. It's by Propulsive Games, and so far it has an 81% of very positive. So not crazy high, but still pretty cool. You can claim sectors for your faction and raise influence, and you can have these resource exploiting corporations in a state of conflict, so you're just doing all this space battle and space fighting and combat, which is cool. It looks great. It kind of reminds me of, I would imagine, like a more simplified Elite Dangerous, but it does look pretty great with a whole bunch of different data and points and like kind of what you are aiming for. And yeah, you're trying to establish your corporation, but I know that Christian, I know that you know quite a bit about this game as well.
Yeah, I've been following this for a while because this guy, the developer, is pretty active on Twitter, and he always does that iterative thing where he asks his audience, "What do you think of this feature?" And then they like live vote on it, and then like a week later he'll have that feature, and he's done that as far as I can tell since like 2019. And he's done it so regularly, and it's become so popular that the makers of The Expanse, the writers' room of The Expanse, they have an account. I don't know who exactly runs it. Sometimes Ty Frank, I'm sure. But they've commented on this game, and they've been like, this looks awesome. Keep going. Like, we would do this. We would do that. So it's pretty cool. And I did play the demo during the last Steam Next Fest, and it is fucking complicated because it looks a little low graphics, and it looks like it would be more casual. So I'm like, okay, cool. Expanse, combat. Nick's headphone is right beside the thing, so I'm hearing myself, but it's all good. Like simple combat, like expanding your stuff. But then I played it, and dude, all these fucking doohickeys I have to turn off and on. I have to manage like 5 or 6 different ammo types. My propulsion meters, if I get hit on the left wing, I can't turn a certain way, and every bullet hits. There's no shields or anything like that. So it's pretty fucking hardcore. And the demo I played, it was hard for me to manage everything, but of course I only spent an hour or 2 hours on it. So if you're out there looking for something hardcore with just a lower visual look to it, but still deep mechanics, I think this game is it.
I
feel like it's
this is
pretty
not
cool.
disparaging these people at
For
all.
those
Like,
wondering
go
the
for it.
numbers, 19 people are playing now. 31 is today's peaks, and the all-time peak is 84.
What do you think? What do you think these people think when like Starfield is like, hey, check this out, and it's going to be $14.99? Like,
This
I mean,
game's
I'm not saying
$17.99.
anything bad about that. Like, awesome. Maybe it's not even a competitor, but at some point you got to be like, well, it's another space game, and there's Starfield. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough
Yeah,
one.
but
to
we
take on the
always
chin.
you always run into that, an indie versus a AAA game. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you always
yeah.
run into that. It's just the theme this whole year seems to be space,
Space,
and
space,
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 and
space, space,
space.
space, space,
Because
space.
there's another space game. Speaking of The Expanse, The Expanse has a Telltale game coming out on the first episode is going to launch on July 27th because we started going down a wormhole in The Expanse, and turns out there is an Expanse game coming out. So that's pretty cool, pretty neat. Doubt it's going to be able to compete with Starfield again, but I feel like Starfield's going to be competing with Baldur's Gate 3. Let's be real. Like, it comes out
Yeah.
literally like a week before Starfield is Baldur's
And here's
Gate
another one
3.
too. Path of Exile 2 was like, here's ours. You know, like boom, looks awesome. It looks great, except for there's this giant thing called Diablo IV that kind of beat you to the punch. I don't know how you can.
But it's Diablo 4 in space.
Yeah,
That's the question.
Who
you guys
would
think
actually
yourself?
play? Who would actually play? I ask you this. I ask this group in confidence. Who would actually play Diablo 4? Who among us would? Who?
I don't know. I'm going to play Diablo.
Every
Diablo
single one of
4.
us.
Might play some Diablo 4 after this.
Nick, are we going to save your segment? Let's save that for next episode. We're going to go super long on this.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Christian, you have anything to say about City Skylines specifically?
Real quick, City Skylines 2 was announced. It looks fucking awesome. It's a day one purchase for me. obviously they're making more delineation of zoning codes and curb lengths and all that exciting stuff. They have
You're gonna love the urban planning.
They have infrastructure under the roads. Finally, the roads come with sewer and power hookups. So, like they should, you shouldn't just be able to run lines anywhere you fucking want. That's private property, you bitches. And I'm just so excited for it. City Skylines 2. Hopefully, I'm gonna pick it up the day it releases, but we'll see.
Do you know when it releases?
Sometime in October, I think. October 10th. I just pulled that out of my butt.
October 24th.
Oh, so close. Come on, the butt pull. That was pretty close.
Close enough. So as we move into highlights, games that we have played, I just want to give a quick reminder that Aliens Dark Descent is coming out June 20th, the day this podcast released. That is the real-time strategy Aliens game made by the developers of Battlefleet Gothic Armada. So could be interesting. Something to keep an eye on. Also, another game we had talked about, Trepang 2 or Trepang Squared. Kind of an interesting looking shooter. That's coming out soon as well. These are all games we've talked about before on the radar. They're just approaching their release date.
Ooh, I like that. I like what you just did there, Bobby.
Yeah.
Nice.
So as we move into highlights, I guess we talked a lot about Diablo IV. I am still playing the hell out of this game. It's probably my game of the year at this
What
point.
level are you at?
86.
Jesus Christ. Dude, I've hit the wall of level 44.
Oh, dude, the wall's at 70. Get ready, dude. Get ready for that wall.
Oh, dude,
I feel like
it's
each time
so
we talk,
bad.
Bobby, you got a new wall for Diablo 4. It's like,
You're like,
oh,
you
man, just
found the
gotta
normal
grind
wall.
to
This
get-
is the great wall at 70 now.
Bobby, you know what's funny?
Great
Your
Wall of
girlfriend
70.
probably thinks something's wrong. Like she think like he's been so distant lately. Like she's beating herself up about like, oh, why isn't he calling me? He's not answering the phone. Little does she
invite me
know,
to
it has
dinner
nothing to do with her. It's Diablo 4, dude.
No, dude,
it's
I'm like that
There is
all
another
the time.
woman. Her
She's
name's
used to
I'm going to say, or just get yourself a new girl, one that plays Diablo 4 with you. There you go.
Your new girl's Lilith, son.
Yeah, your new girl is Lilith.
I still
that's
don't know
true.
who Lilith is. Is she Diablo?
God damn it!
Okay, so here it
You
okay,
don't-
so after
that's a
you-
rhetorical
yeah,
question. You
After
don't
you
need
said
to.
that,
Yeah, of course, of course.
well, I'm just going to quickly say Lilith is the daughter of hatred, which I said before, but she's the daughter of Mephisto, which I might be mispronouncing that. I'm from
Mephisto.
Michigan, all right? That's Mephisto. And that is one of like Diablo's brothers. So Diablo is
Lord of
the
Hell.
uncle. Yeah, and the
Okay.
Lord of Hell. But
Got the
he's
whole
also
family tree
Lilith's
here.
uncle. Yeah, there's a whole family tree.
Who called for this? Who said?
Okay.
Where did Diablo come from?
So originally,
Hell.
the game was a very, very
Oh, Jesus.
in-depth for the time RPG. The story was like, hey, Diablo's gonna come and destroy fucking everything. You need to go kick his butt, oh weary traveler. And that's about it, right? Now
Well,
it's like,
angels help you.
we have a family tree of these demons, and if you kill all of them, reality ceases to exist. So have fun, you know.
Is that good or bad? You don't want a reality to cease to exist, do you?
So that's
Well,
one
you're-
of the things about the story.
Well, you're in this this world sanctuary that's kind of a world in between worlds that they used as like a battleground world.
It's like purgatory
Yes.
in the Bible.
Oh,
I
I
know
know
about
the
that.
Bible. I know
Calling
about that
attention,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know about that one. I know the Bible.
That book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
So, I
she
don't
said,
know.
it's like a world between worlds that they use as a battle place.
Okay.
Humans were not meant to live there that long and like start settling, but then they did. So that's kind of the world that you're presented in. And Lilith is like the queen succubus or whatever, but she's claimed to be like the mother of sanctuary. And so,
so she's
I'm
good.
really enjoying the story so far. No,
So
she's
that's-
not good.
So that's
she's
the interesting
bad.
thing, right? Like, how do you like? It's not much of a story like ruiner. If you kill all the lords of hell, you would think you would want to do that because they're all bad. They're all literal demons, and they want to slaughter everybody. All the good shit goes away as well because they lose purpose. And so
it's
it's
like Star Wars. Like the good balances the return of the prophecy.
yeah, but with demons and
Yeah, you
angels
balance.
and shit. Without it being biblical in a sense, except for the names like Belial and Beelzebub
Okay.
and all that shit.
Is there any way you guys could tell both of you tell Bobby your favorite piece of lore and why you like it, and what's special about it.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I know.
Mine.
Well, I mean, you guys can think about it. You don't need to answer right away.
I mean, I can say
We could
think-
talk about something interesting. I mean, while
So-
you guys think about it.
So one of my favorite parts of the game is, like, for example, the leading protagonist and narrator for the last one was someone called Deckard Cain, and Deckard Cain was like this old frail guy who was like, you need to defeat the demons using your necromancer powers. You
Triangle
know,
rope,
press
triangle
Y to
rope.
summon 3 skeletons. The new one's like, the new Deckard is like, I got alcoholism. I hate my kids. Fuck everybody. I don't want to save the world, but I have to because I made an oath. Like, it's a great time. What about you, Amanda?
I've always loved the way that they have made angels accessible in like the lore and in the storyline and how you follow them through, and like just how the angels kind of assist you and work with you, and that these are more like, it's not just gods and demons that you're necessarily talking about, like you are interacting with them. And so I've always, and like they've always influenced all of each other as well. Like there's like a story, I'm trying to not spoil too much, but like I do love that they have Lilith kind of sticking true to her like enticing, almost siren, which is very like succubus kind of ways,
Exactly.
and kind of pulling people in, you know, with these promises to kind of like fuck them over afterwards. And so the way that she does that in the storyline of this game, I think is done really kind of well and true to the lore of what that would all be. And so you do get to see some of the characters kind of fall for that, and it's I do enjoy the lore aspect of that.
Does Tyrael fall for that? The tank?
Not, no. In this game, or in this universe, right? It seems like wherever you go, there's always evil, right? And that technically means that like the followers of Diablo and the followers of evil are constantly like taking over, and like you are the minority, and that's why there's so many like, you're like, God damn, there's like 80,000 fucking demons and like no angels. You walk around and you see like normal people that are just trying to use an outhouse, and like a demon cuts them in half. You're like, fucking Christ, this place sucks to live in. And your whole job really is to bring that balance back. I'm like 3/4 of the way still through with the story. I've just I'm pretty far, but in reality, I haven't put in too much time in the game that I should be doing. And I plan on getting to max level this week. So.
Sorry, Bobby.
nice.
I'm
Good luck.
sorry that I've funneled all this torture to you. I think
You know, I know I said that we don't edit the show, but I might just cut all of that out, guys. 'Cause
I might just cut the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Blizzard had their first campfire chat, which is a video that, or a live stream that they had where they address a lot of what the players are talking about, the direction of the game, the changes that they're going to make. And I didn't watch it because it was super long, but I did read the updates on it. And I do know the complaints from a lot of people that have been playing the game at least as much as I have. And I've played so much of the game, and anytime you do that with any game, you're going to see the little problems that other people will probably not notice. And there are quite a few of them. Like there's a lot of quality of life changes that I feel like needs to happen. I don't like the way they sort the aspects. It makes it super annoying when I'm trying to find one. When you run nightmare dungeons, you don't teleport to the dungeon. You got to run all the way over there. It's hard when you reset your Paragon boards and your skill tree, like you have to unclick every single thing in the Paragon board. And it's like, dude, there's like 90 of them. Come on.
But
And there's no party finder. So what I've been doing, I've been playing with people a lot because that's what I enjoy doing. I like co-op games and I like playing things with other people. I've been going into Discord and just posting, you know, like 86 Barb looking for group, Nightmare Dungeon 45 plus, and put my BNet tag there, and hopefully somebody messages me, or what they have to do at that point is invite me or add me as a friend in BNet, then invite me to the party, and then I got to teleport to them. They have no. I'm pretty sure Diablo 3 had this, where you could just queue up for something and get right into it. But the game seriously needs it, because what happens is now my BattleNet is just filled with these random people I don't know. So, and you can only have so many friends in BattleNet.
Dude. Random friends.
Dude.
I'm never going to see these people again. They're on a different. They're either higher or lower level. Like
That's
we
a
just aren't going to
choice,
sync
Bobby.
up.
That's a choice. That's a choice.
No, dude.
And
Like I'm looking for
you've got a
someone right now.
whole
It's just like in
DLC plan.
it's like in World of Warcraft. Like you just need somebody to group up with for a dungeon. You're not looking for like a friend here. You know.
You're just
so
looking for a quick time.
I
I
guess.
don't
Yeah.
get it.
just looking for a quick.
night. Just
Just
for
looking
a
for
night.
a quick hookup. So
hook
I
up to the
constantly
dungeon,
have
yeah.
to. I
Bobby, if you
constantly-
make friends of these people, you can meet up with them later.
Bobby's like, no first names. No first names.
No last
no,
names.
you can't
I'll
do that
fuck
because
you, but I won't kiss you.
these people have.
We'll do a raid together. Do not talk to me.
We'll do 13 Nightmare Dungeons together in one night. I'm not adding you, son.
Well, no, it's just like World of
It's
Warcraft.
so
Like you are on two different paths, and you're not gonna like buddy up with someone and continue to play the game. Like they got their
No.
stuff to do, and you got your stuff to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Like you can't play this
Totally.
game completely synchronistically. Like you can't. Is that a word? I don't know.
Why
But-
would you do something for somebody if you
would you
aren't
make
going to get
friends?
something out of it? Of course.
I don't
Why
think
would-
you understand what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah, but reality.
it's like I'm taking a bus north, and you're taking a bus south, and like we meet up for a minute, and then we go our separate ways. That's how this is. It's not like you can continue playing with
Yeah,
someone and do everything that they do. It's like, dude, I need Forgotten Souls from Helltide. I need to run these Nightmare Dungeons. I need to do the Renown in this area. This guy needs the Renown in another area, and he needs to run these dungeons. It's just like you can't.
but
It's really
Bobby-
hard to like
But if
continuously
you-
play with the same people.
If you build a roster of people, eventually you're going to have people that
These
are-
people aren't leveling as fast as me, or some of them are leveling faster than me. So they're doing different
Not as
content.
good as me.
No, they're doing different content, dude. No, that's what I'm getting at, dude. They're doing different content. Like, you can't team up with them.
Bobby is right.
There's a moment in time where we intersect, where we need to group up, and then we go our other ways because they're doing different content.
Thank you for grounding.
You need to get a rock. I need to slay Satan. This is a different fucking world, okay?
But yeah, so that's honestly my biggest complaint, because I hate having to constantly prune my friends list because I've reached the cap, and then I got to add more people. And plus, there's problems with adding people, and it's just kind of clunky. They really need a group finder in there. So during the campfire chat, Blizzard has addressed a lot of these things. They're going to allow teleporting to dungeons. They're going to change some things with the inventory, like gems are going to be counted as a resource, and they aren't going to take up slots in your
that's
your
awesome.
inventory.
You should be
It just-
super speed in town too. Like you should.
Oh,
run-
Yeah,
yeah,
you
like
can't even
double movement
dash your
speed in
horse in
town.
town.
Yeah.
In town, yeah, which is, yeah.
But these are little things. It's going to get better, and that's the greatest thing
sure.
about this
Yeah,
game.
well, what I'd like to think about is Diablo 3. Like when that game came out, it had so many problems. I mean, it was
Dude.
clearly pay to win with the auction house.
Yep.
It just, there were a lot of issues when that game first came out. There was just so much trash loot. Oh my God, the trash loot. And you look at where that game eventually got to, and it's incredible. So I feel like Diablo 4 has got a ton of people playing it. They're paying close attention to what the players want, and it looks like they're being responsive. So I remain hopeful here. I think things are going to get better. They're really trying to get people to focus on the nightmare dungeons and not just trying to, everybody's just trying to get as much XP as possible and level up. And they found the fastest way to do this is the regular dungeons. So they've been nerfing the regular dungeons, and people have been a little upset about that, but they said they're going to boost things in the nightmare dungeons. So they're figuring things out. Things are they're kind of in a transient state right now a little bit, but I'm still really enjoying the game. And when I say enjoying the game, not the story, not anything else, like I will get like
Smash.
4
Don't get it
levels, which
twisted.
could take me days, like to get these levels, and then I'll build up all these legendaries, and I'm running dungeons so fast that I just throw the legendaries in my chest, and then I'll spend probably 3 hours just sitting there going through all the things, looking at the stats, comparing them, doing research. Like I'm deep, dude. I don't want to talk like techniques, but I'm like deep, dude. I've been like having to learn all this stuff about damage buckets and snapshotting and just like all these technical
Bobby?
aspects of the game.
Correlation does not mean causation, but like this is the worst I've seen your hair in probably 6 months.
Oh, the hair is,
Maybe.
yeah. It's
I
pretty
think maybe
bad.
one might have something to do with the other. You know what I mean?
I'm
I
gonna
know,
post
dude.
it.
I'm like
Diablo
Doc Brown here. I'm just like, Marty.
Look, you gotta have the highest attack power and attack speed, okay? Whirlwind's your only option.
You got to go bleed Zerker Whirlwind, Marty.
Your snapshots.
I'm gonna put a GIF inside the fucking video inside in the crew chat.
No, that
and then
is.
I'll put it in
I do
public.
need to get a haircut. I'm actually going. I've been cutting my own hair since COVID, and I'm actually going to go get my hair cut for the first time in years tomorrow.
Hell yeah, dude! Let's get a before and after
Hell
picture.
yeah.
Hey, no pressure, but two of my friends had panic attacks while having haircuts for some reason.
That's so
Just
strange,
the-
dude. I love getting my hair cut.
Okay, good.
Oh, so do I. I think it's like an experience.
Yeah.
Oh my god! When I was 11, I got a bowl cut, and I cried.
Oh my.
All right,
It was
Oliver
so
Tree,
bad,
calm
dude.
down.
It was so fucking bad.
Christian, we're not in the trust tree. I'm not sure if that was appropriate.
Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to dump on you like that. You're right.
You know what? You know what's kind of a deep cut is this movie that I watched earlier today called Escanaba in the Moonlight. Because the deep cut is that this movie is terribly great. It is hilarious. It's another freebie movie that you can watch. They have it on Freebie, so like there's ads and stuff, but it is it's hilarious. It was in 2001, and Jeff Daniels is the one that directed it. He wrote it, he stars in it, and it's about this like macho man in Michigan that's pretty much on the border of Wisconsin and both north enough to be pretty much Canada Light. And so they are trying to break the oldest son's curse of never having bagged buck. And if you guys want a really hilarious time, including ridiculous accents, you should absolutely watch this movie.
What was the name of it again?
It's called Escanaba in the Moonlight.
Escanaba in the Moonlight. As
Yeah,
far as
well-
like media and referrals, Bobby, you're a goddamn hero. Nicholas, let him have it.
What do you mean?
Oh my god, dude.
Are you
What?
talking about Bobby's taste in movies and arguably
Primal,
one,
dude. I'm talking about Primal.
bro?
Oh, Primal.
Dude,
you guys
bro.
finally started watching Primal?
We started crying, dude. It was that good. It is.
It gets better. I don't know how far you're in.
We're
but it just
episode
keeps-
like 8.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! So not even the second season, dude. It astounds me that the show can somehow top itself. It just keeps getting better and better.
I can't. I was thinking about that when I was watching the first season. I'm like, where they go from here? And
Yeah.
you're saying it gets better. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's what every episode I'm just like, where do you even go from here? But yeah, it just gets
It's
better and better.
insane, dude.
But it
And
comes
we
out
just saw
very
the-
slowly, just like a lot of, like Rick and Morty, like they come out with a season every couple of years or something. This is the same way. Like it's like an episode every couple of years, it seems.
As
It's the
bad
best
as it
cartoon I've
sounds,
seen. I don't know. I really liked Arcane, but other than Arcane, I would say back to Avatar: The Airbender. I would say it was the last cartoon this good.
dude, it's like driving when you're like 8 years old with your fun uncle, and everything is just you think you're gonna fucking die, and you think all the people you love are gonna die, and then it's just you just don't know what to expect. It's just an adrenaline ride the whole time. The highs are highs, the
so-
lows are lows, and there's no dialogue. It's a lot of grunting, it's a lot of roaring. It's just a good show.
Bobby, trivia. Do you know their names?
Fang and Tooth or Spear
Fang and
Tooth?
Spear.
Fang and
I just
Spear.
learned that today. Yeah. Anybody who hasn't seen this, it's a Tarkovsky. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Jendi Tartovsky. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
Dexter's Lab, so it's that style of animation. He also did a fantastic miniseries for the
Jack, right?
Clone Wars. It was called the Clone Wars, but there's 2 Clone Wars. There's the CGI animated one, and then there's this like
Silent
they released
one.
it in. No, it's not. The Clone Wars one isn't silent. They released it in 2-minute chunks on Adult Swim, but if you put it all together, it's like 2 1-hour episodes, basically. Yeah, it's the Clone Wars. The animation's great. The Mace Windu scene is just incredible. Like that's the one I always go back and watch.
If you
Mace
want a
Windu-
resume,
It had
for
silent
the man,
characters, didn't it?
No, they're talking about Primal. Primal is about a caveman and his dinosaur, and there's no dialogue in it.
No,
There's
sorry,
no
but
dialogue,
the
too.
Star Wars one has no dialogue as well, right?
No, they talk.
Oh,
they
do?
talk.
Okay.
Yeah, they give orders and stuff. if you want a resume, Samurai Jack, Dexter's Laboratory, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Hotel Transylvania 1, Hotel Transylvania 3, 2, and 4, and much fucking more. The Powerpuff Girls. It goes on and on. He's written multiple
He's the best animator
episodes
of our generation.
Yeah, even when he's not animating himself, he's killing it in writing. Like, this is good, dude.
Yeah, he's very talented. I never watched Samurai Jack, but I know that was really popular.
Bro, you gotta watch Samurai Jack. The Scot.
It's so good.
My
It's very
favorite cartoon episode of all time is called The Scotsman, and imagine a samurai from feudal Japan meeting the most belligerent, shit-talking Scotsman and them beating the fuck out of robots for like 20 minutes. It is the best episode, dude. But Primal is a must-see. If you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. Oh, it's not even HBO Max anymore. It's on Max. If you don't have Max, figure it out. There's plenty of ways to see shit online.
That was Escanaba in the Moonlight.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, they're gonna give you great suggestions for movies and shows. I'm gonna give you so bad that they're great in a different way, And so yeah, that's Escanaba in the Moonlight. And so
dude, I love the poster for that
2 or
movie.
3
By the way,
hours and you'll enjoy it, huh?
I love the poster for that movie.
It is, dude. It is ridiculous. It is very funny. It's like there's UFOs, there's superstition, there's a guy, his dad, and his like family wanting to get away for deer camp and go camping and enjoy all of that. There's a random ranger from Detroit who just sings the whole time. It's pretty fucking great. So in that it is terrible, but it is very funny. And
Nick,
so,
where you
yeah.
at with Street Fighter 6?
As for me, I have discovered that actually playing this game, this shit's hard with modern controllers, and fuck that shit if you're old. I just want to mention, I just picked up the game today. I bought it. I played Ryu because he's
Modern
controls. Yes.
You're having a hard time with modern controls because
I switched it immediately. I lost my first 2 ranked matches because I thought it would automatically assign classic. It did not.
No.
For those who are above the age of 20, make sure you go to settings, and when you choose your character for online play, you switch the control type to classic. You'll thank me later. You will not get the shit kicked out of you from like Iron 3 players if you do that. The game is awesome so far. I'm being forced to try out characters that I've never tried out, especially the new ones, because of the fact that the gameplay style is so different from the other Street Fighters. It's not too different where it's like it's a completely different game, but the dynamic of using like a power-up move where you can get through blocks and you can kind of get through it's kind of like
the drive attack.
Yeah, it's called drive attack. It's like this like baiting, and it's baiting in and out of having your opponent do it first before you, or catching your opponent while they're blocking to use it. And I think it's arguably the best Street Fighter innovation in a very, very long time. I'm going to play this game for a long time. I'm just mad that Akuma's not out when the game is released because that's my character. I'm about to play this like 8-foot tall lady who's like from Sparta, and I'm going to discover that shit. So yeah, check it out. That's all I got.
Nick, also, so you have drive counter, right?
Yes.
Which counters, which kind of, that's why Ryu's not good in this one, because you can just counter everything. It's so easy. You just push 2 buttons together, and fireballs are bullshit. But drive rush is really important. So that's when you drive counter and push forward while you're drive countering, and you'll do a rush move. And definitely start moving, play around with that. Very, very powerful.
I got my ass kicked when someone did that to me the first time. Yeah. So, if you haven't played up Street Fighter in a while and you missed the game, this is definitely the version for you to pick up.
And everything we're talking about, guys, it comes with a color code. So, like, if somebody does a drive attack, their colors will show up. Like, Ken would be red and black. Ryu would be white and red. You can see it coming. You could, I'm talking about like half a second, but you can see it coming.
In a way, they've slowed the game down, all while keeping it still Street Fighter. Like they make decisions more accountable. Like if you fuck up, you can fuck up real bad.
Yeah. It's very, very good, guys. It's the best Street Fighter in years.
Yeah.
All right. This is a long episode, guys. Let's get to these listener questions.
Quick plug. We're on Spotify, in case you didn't know. A lot of you listen to us on Spotify, but you have to hit that little subscribe button so that it makes me happy, and I see the number go up. If you want to make me happy, hit the button. That's it. Also, Spotify is rolling out this new feature where we can ask a question through Spotify, and if you're on your phone, you'll be able to answer it. I don't know what I'm going to ask at the end of this question. Actually, I do. For this episode, I will ask the question, is Diablo IV a good game? And then I will vote no. And if you don't want no to be the answer, you will have to vote. So there's what you have to do. Hit subscribe, vote yes.
The first question should be, do you like answering questions on Spotify? Or not?
Okay. Yeah. If you want to just take over my idea, dude, fine. It's okay.
If you want to just shoot me in the head in front of everybody, just do it, you know.
All right.
Bobby, let's hear that silky voice reading those questions, man.
Oh, boy. All right. Listener questions. This one comes from Hingle McCringleberry. He says, while watching the Xbox showcase, when the Sea of Thieves update came out with Monkey Island, I was like, well, that's definitely an update for Bobby. What other crossovers would you want to see in that game? And then he's got a few follow-up questions, but I guess let's address this one first. So crossovers with Sea of Thieves. They've already done Pirates of the Caribbean. They're doing Monkey Island. Peter Pan would be good, like a Captain Hook thing. Yeah, that would be a good one. What other pirate themed things are out there?
The Goonies.
That's a stretch. Whose treasure was it they were trying?
I can't think of a lot of very popular pirate things, man.
They were trying to find his
treasure. How do you
treasure.
tell somebody's wrong without telling them they're wrong?
That's a stretch.
Does it have to be pirate exactly? Like, it would be kind of cool to come up on a island that was used for like nuclear testing, so it gives a lot of Fallout vibes. But it's in the pirates, not the pirates, but it's in the Sea of Thieves universe. You know what I mean? Like, that might be cool to have something that's inspired like that. Or
Yeah,
does it
definitely.
have to be pirates of a crossover, like, because that's a lot harder.
Sea of Thieves in space. What about that?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
What about that?
everything in space.
Let's
dude.
bring
That's
that
the
shit.
theme.
Let's bring
DLG in space. Why not?
DLG Con next year.
DLG Con in space.
Hell yeah. Ticket costs at least $2.8 million.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
Is
He
that
also
Elon
asks, yeah, let's talk to Elon Musk about that. Who's that other guy that flies to space? Branson?
Your
I
mom.
don't know.
Brian
Got him.
Cranston? Yeah, he just stopped his
Bryan
space company
Cranston,
too. Not Brian Cranston. Oh my God. The guy who owns Virgin.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who owned, it's like Richard Branson or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're actually right. I think it is Richard Branson.
Wouldn't
But
be
yeah, no,
surprised.
he just disassembled and dissolved his space company.
Oh,
Good for him.
Okay.
Focus
All
on the
right.
problems on the ground, folks. They're all around us. Come on, eyes on the prize.
All right. Additionally, what other games would you be interested in seeing others cross over with? Left 4 Dead, and, for example, Left 4 Dead and Payday 3.
I mean, that's a good one. Left 4 Dead and Payday.
Payday had a lot of crossovers. They did a John Wick thing when that movie got really popular.
I'd like,
Jurassic Park and any kind of shooter. Remember when they did the dinosaur thing with Battlefield? Like, that was awesome, and that was only
oh my
like
god, a
like,
Jurassic Park Tarkov.
oh fuck that, like an ultra realistic.
Oh my
man,
God.
that would suck. Just
That
imagine
would
bleeding
fucking
out and
suck.
rushing from a fucking raptor. Yeah.
Get a concussion from a T-Rex just yelling off in the distance.
Yeah, you can't move. You move at 50% speed because a Pachyosaur just fucking headbutted your hip. Yeah, it's a great time.
You know, with the
Yeah.
modding in
definitely-
Left 4 Dead, you can pretty much cross over anything with that.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
Left 4 Dead and the Muppets. I want all Muppet zombies chasing me as fast
Oh,
as
wow.
possible.
Dude, the Left 4 Dead Helm's Deep was pretty fucking fun. That was a
Dude,
great
that
map.
one's a good one.
It's a good
Yeah.
map.
I want
All
to
right.
see a crossover of The Sims and Elder Scrolls. If I could,
Holy shit.
make Balmora.
If I could
That's
just
a
bake
fucking-
bread for a living.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea. That's awesome.
Right?
Just The Sims in any universe. The Sims in Star Wars. There you go. Like,
Well,
you
let's
can-
not get crazy. You know.
You
Let's
know,
not be
let's not make the best
crazy.
game ever
Yeah.
made. You know, you tell me I can be a mayor of Mos Eisley?
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
sold,
He
Nick.
also asks sauce on steak or just salt and pepper.
Depends on the
Salt and
steak. Depends on the
pepper.
place. Depends on the steak.
Just salt and
Depends on the
pepper.
place.
Just salt and pepper, guys.
I feel like
Come on.
we've been asked this question before, or this has come up. Like, do you put sauce on your steak?
People who put sauce on their steak are liable to put mustard and fucking ketchup on it, and they can't be trusted. That's kind of my opinion.
You put ketchup on steak, we have a problem. But you put some other shit, dude. I've had some rough steaks in my life. I'm like, yo, give me the A1 because like this is bad. But like traditionally, I'm gonna say salt, pepper, a little bit of butter, and some rosemary.
It does depend on how much I'm paying for the steak. If it's a really nice one, then I just want to get the full flavor. But you know, if it's not, then yeah, I'll throw some A1 on there.
Yeah. We got
A1
another
is your
Bobby
guys'
question next.
Barbecue sauce, A1.
steak
Does it come with
sauce.
Does it come with a theme?
No, A1 is actually technically not even a barbecue sauce. I think it's literally reserved as a steak sauce. It's very
Yeah.
bitter, not bitter. It's very sharp tasting in the sense.
Wait,
like
do they not have
vinegar-esque.
A1 in Canada?
Isn't there
No.
Worcestershire sauce in it or something? Isn't that
Why
part
is
of
it-
what's making that?
Why is it two primary? Like it's A, the first letter of the alphabet, and 1, the second number of the number bit.
I believe it's supposed to denote the quality of meat that it can go on top of, and at the time it was an A1. You can Nick check that fact by the way.
So this is for top quality steak.
Essentially, that it's so good that he would make a top quality steak even better.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
That's where I disagree.
Kraft Heinz made this in 1831, so take that with a grain of salt. You know,
Oh,
top
yeah,
it's been around
steak
since
in
then.
1831, like
Meat wasn't even refrigerated back then. I guess it would need some sauce. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very quiet, but test good.
yeah. What's the next question, Bobby?
Next question from White but Still Hip. Bobby, I know you hate stories in video games. Wow. Is that what?
It's true, dude.
I have said a lot of bad things about them. Okay.
Why do you
All right.
smile and then guffaw? Oh, is that me?
I don't like stories in video games. I never.
I don't know. Hate is such a strong word. Okay. But how do you feel about games with procedurally generated stories such as RimWorld, Europa Universalis 4, and Wildermyth? I've only played RimWorld out of those games, but I don't like them any better or worse than most stories in video games. And I don't know if I
Yeah.
hate them. They're just not for me, man. Like I can't engage with them. Like they just don't do anything for me.
I was like, this is one of the very few times that I'm wrong in life, but I was like, RimWorld, 98% on Steam. It's about space. It's a colony. Bobby's gonna love it. I bought it for him. He was like, meh. He showed up next week. He was like, meh. I was like, all right, man. I don't know what else to say. That said, I played it, and it wasn't for me either. So
It's a pretty involved game. Like it's pretty hardcore from what I remember. But yeah, and like that, I don't even think about story when I see those games. And of course, usually I'm thinking about mechanics. But what I have a hard time deciding on is these games where they try to like get you to develop the story. Like Fallout 76 or something, where it's just it's so open that they just, or even the one we were talking about earlier, PAX Day. Like, it's just like you create your own story, and it's just, I don't know. It's on one hand, I feel like that could be cool. On the other hand, it's like it puts the burden on the players.
I think there's a perfect balance between the two of like strictly developed narratives, right, versus player-based decision-making stories. I think the people that do that the best is the one that Daze is probably thinking of, and that's what the people that make Elder Scrolls and fucking Fallout. The ability to have 12 different endings doesn't make your game good. The ability to make those endings extremely different and make those endings impactful and realizable that, man, all the things that I have done up until this point have made this ending happen, makes those endings more powerful and more impactful to the player. Like, if you have a procedurally generated story, you're like, okay, like this is just coming up with new shit. Like it feels like a D&D campaign that is being made up by someone on the spot every time you play. It's not fun because you're like, oh, like what's the end story here? No one's setting up a long-term goal besides like defeat the ultimate bad guy.
If you guys don't have a fucking imagination, that's how it must feel. Jesus Christ.
Hey man, you're the one that plays a goddamn game that you're like a fucking shirt vendor on a planet in Star Wars, okay? You got your version of fun.
That's my story, dude. That's
very fun.
That's the appeal to me personally, yeah.
My dad left me on this planet when I was 7, and all I knew what to do was sew, so I made shirts.
I was threading on the streets of Mos Eisley as a young lad. Yeah.
They weren't the best shirts, but they were colorful.
They were very breathable, but they weren't warm during the winter. And the winters on Mos Eisley are unforgivable. I learned to survive the peaks and valleys of the financial decisions of my life at 8 years old.
All right, final question from Morconius. He says, what's the worst mission on an otherwise very good game that you can think of? For example, Vice City had a very terrible radio control panel quest, or remote control radio. I gotta fix these questions before I read.
Say RC. Just say
Almost
RC.
said Diablo.
Vice City had a very terrible radio control plane quest come to mind. The stupid plane was so hard to control on a mouse and keyboard. Vice City was not made for the mouse and keyboard. I could not beat that game. I ran into a quest. It wasn't this quest, but I ran into a different quest, and I had to stop playing the game because I just could not do it on a mouse and keyboard.
I'll tell you right now.
Game too.
I'll tell you right now. Even with the controller, that shit was stupid hard. It was not responsive.
I was gonna say even on an Xbox, like that mission really sucked.
On a console, it didn't work.
And dude, you would mash the button a little bit, and you're like, all right, the plane's turning. As soon as you go over like 10%, it's like, veer into the ground and burn everything to the fucking ground as well, dude. It was awful. It was just not calibrated correctly. Wow. Somebody made that mission out of spite towards people. Like, it was not.
Well, it wasn't the only mission. There were some really bad missions. There were some really great missions. The one with where you go to, very early in the game, you go to a golf course and you have to like assault a guy. I mean, it's Vice City. It's a Grand Theft Auto game. That was a good one. But there were like all these missions that just felt so stupid. Like you have to jump. The one that I got stuck on was when you go to the movie studio and they send you and you have to do this jump into a building. And I just couldn't do it. And I was like, I don't think this can be done on a mouse and keyboard. They later released that game on an iPad, I think. And I remember thinking, like, how is anybody going to do that mission? Or is anyone even going to make it that far in the game playing this on an iPad? But I feel like as much as we all love that game, like when you go back to it, you realize how terrible it was. They had yet to perfect the Grand Theft Auto series at that point.
Yeah,
well, I think even just the other toy plane missions too, because there was ones in GTA like San Andreas as well that were also shitty. Like I just think that GTA had like kind of a record of really difficult flying missions that also
definitely.
Even when they weren't difficult, they were like tedious and like boring and just not very fun. Because I don't remember enjoying the helicopters either, like, and flying all of that shit around. So I definitely
the big appeal with those games was the open world. Like I feel like the missions in general weren't the best thing about those games. The cool thing about it was like you feel like you're in an actual world. You walk around, run people over, do whatever. Like it was just the sandbox.
The radio was
you
pretty
could beat
great.
the shit out of somebody, get in a car, and then make sure that you stop at every red light and drive your way and check out the radio.
My answer to this question, by the way, is the sniper moment in Max Payne 1 where you have to shoot the thread. I don't know if I just had a bad TV growing up or what, or if it was too low resolution or something, but I could not fucking do it, and I had so many friends at school that also couldn't do it. And we're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with us? Are we stupid or what? Because it was bad. And it's like it's not a skippable mission because Max Payne 1 was like one of those games that like the whole game is a mission, right? And I've revisited the remastered version of the game and finally did it. But that's my answer.
I also had that like dream mission too in Max Payne that was like, do you remember that? Was that Max Payne 1 or Max Payne 3? Where they had like the dream state where you were going through and you could hear.
3. It's 3.
Yeah, that I did not like that one either. That one was like just really creepy, like the baby cry, and that was a rough one. Yeah, that was a rough one.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Poor Emilio.
Amelia, you are allowed to talk.
He's coming.
We can hear you.
He's coming through perfectly, but every time he tries to say something, someone just happens to start. I don't think it's personal.
Does anyone love me anymore?
No, it's not personal. It's
Sorry.
just like I'm being like very quiet. I don't want to interrupt, but I also don't know if I exist. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, do I exist?
Your mic for me
Dude,
has
you've
been
been
really
in and out
low.
You've been in and out this
jeez.
whole podcast, dude.
Oh,
It's been a whirlwind, Emilio. But you have
Oh yeah, he
three
just fucked it up
answers.
again. Too.
No,
he can't talk.
I'm here.
Oh, he's here. He's
It's
here.
loud.
I got 3 answers for this. I'm gonna go very quick. I stopped playing Tomb Raider because apparently I can't. I got to rotate these rocks, and they don't rotate for me. And I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Am I doing this wrong?" Looked it up. My FPS, frames per second. Yeah, my FPS is too quick. Like, it wasn't intended for these monster graphics cards. So, I guess it's too many frames. So it's rotating so fast that it doesn't look like it's rotating. And the fix from the YouTube video was you need to try to make your computer slower. So turn everything up to max and like do some stupid shit. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I haven't gone back for that. The other one is the plane thing. The way that I passed that level in Vice City was I had to switch back and forth between controller and keyboard about 8 times to fly
remember
just
this.
right to whatever you had to do, pick up the guy from the boat or whatever it was. Yeah, I had to keep switching back and forth, and now I've already forgotten what the other thing was. But yeah, I wanted to highlight the opposite of this. The best quests are Witcher 3. They don't put quests in the game that don't have any meaning or don't lead anywhere. There's no go get 3 of these. It's always like, I haven't seen my brother in a while. Can you find them? Hey, I found your brother. Oh, my brother is now in the cult. How bad is this cult? Should I take this cult down? And it's all on you? And it's like, I don't know. I got this other grand thing that I got to go do. Like, it's the best quest in any game ever. So that's the opposite of this.
That'll be after BioShock. I think that'll be the Christian plays old game, Witcher 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into, man. I will say. It was
It's a rough first 3 hours for The Witcher.
Yeah. And then it was the greatest game I've ever played in my life. So there you go.
Worth it.
All right. That is all our listener questions. What's everybody playing next week?
Street
Diablo
Fighter 6.
3.
Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6. Yeah.
I meant
Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16,
BioShock 1.
BioShock 17, Deep Rock Galactic 2.
Hell yeah.
No, Deep Rock Galactic, they do have their next season coming out. So, or actually, I think it is out.
Is
so
that what's going to pull Bobby away from Diablo?
I don't know. We'll see. Diablo. It's all about Diablo right now. I'm going to be honest, but I do want to bring something new to the table next week, so I'll check something out.
Did I say Payday 3? And that's going to be day 1 on Xbox Game Pass as well? I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
all right.
it's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
yet,
And
they're
good for them.
Yet, their Game Pass, it's not a success. Like, not enough people are using it. It's insane.
You know what?
Dude,
What's funny
it's-
is PlayStation announced today that they will not make a Game Pass clone at all. They don't have any aspirations to make
Yeah, they're
anything
killing
like
it,
Game
dude.
Pass.
Why would they? Yeah, they're doing great. Just selling first party. They're doing great. Well, why would they change anything? But as far as the Game Pass thing, unfortunately, it's a branding issue. I feel like you got to take the word Xbox out of it. It confuses everyone.
Yeah, it's
like-
confusing.
Bobby, you talk to PC gamers that play on PC, did not know about. This is a group of PC gamers did not know what Xbox Game Pass was, right?
Yeah. And the more
Yeah.
I've used it with Sea of Thieves, honestly, the more I like it. It integrates with Windows. So it kind of just becomes part of your operating system. And I've gotten real used to hitting Windows G and adjusting my sound or like checking friends list. So I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to it and enjoying the Xbox environment on PC a little bit more. But yeah, there is some confusion.
They have tried to rebrand it. They do call it PC Game Pass now on everything that I've seen. But
during
they
the Super Bowl,
they referred to it too as PC Game Pass on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, during the Super Bowl, they ran ads and they tried to rebrand it.
But
I don't
they
know
still
if it
have
helped.
the huge Xbox logo beside. Like everyone is going to be like, "Oh, this is like a yeah, it is confusing."
It's unfortunate for them because it was like, how do you untie this knot that we've tied ourselves in? It's a fantastic service and it's only getting better. They're going in the right direction in everything but branding and advertising. Unfortunately, like, hey, Xbox, send Christian an email. Maybe we can sort this out for you guys.
Yeah, maybe we can work it out. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we can work it out. We could be your spokesman.
Mr. Microsoft, talk to us.
We're also talking to Steam, so it's like between you and them. But
We also got an inside deal with Bethesda as well. So.
Write down a number on a piece of paper, slide it over to Christian virtually, and we'll see what's going on. All right. Speaking for Nick, Christian, Bobby, Amanda, and myself, motherfucking Xbox Game Pass, PC Gaming Game Pass, virtual reality subscription titties.
Wow.
I can't believe you did not say Father's Day titties.
Daddy titties.
I knew I got some. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Bye. Too many eyebrows. Too much eyebrow.